You know, there was many times when I was in prison, right? Cold, dirty, filthy, horrible prison cells, being in the hole. Went to bed many night, not knowing what the next day held. Hungry, in real bad position. And, I come out here about every 2 or 3 months, and I just kind of camp out, for lack of a better word, here on the beach, man, and just hear the freedom of the water, and feel the power of the beach and feel the breeze coming off the beach, man. It's really a very liberating experience. Daytona Beach really has really kind vibes. You got a dispensary a couple of blocks from here. Florida is a medical marijuana state, but ain't nobody really sweating it like that. However, it's the type of, Florida and Daytona Beach, right? It's the type of city, man, that's like really super cool. The locals are cool. The beach is cool. It's a really cool spot, but it's also like, Florida's a southern state in spite of itself, so it's the type of state that they can't help themselves sometimes getting a little carried away, but the beach itself, the city of Daytona Beach, it's a real cool place. I highly recommend that, everybody see it at least once, man. I wanted to get this last little bit of footage before the sun goes down. And I don't intend to leave until the sun comes up over the Atlantic Ocean. I wanted you guys to see that. Thought it'd be a pretty cool thing to do. And, yeah. On this channel, man, I want to do more than just, I guess, maybe a family of 2 or 3 things. I want to do in studio. Okay, I built it out. Got a cool little studio now. And I want to be able to tell, prison stories and squatting stories and train hopping stories. And then I want to incorporate some actual, stealth camping in the footage. And I just thought to kind of launch the channel on a cool stealth camp, this would be it. And yeah, it's real cool, man. It's off season. Like I said earlier, a rainstorm recently blew through, but I think it's over for the time being. I think we ought to be good for the rest of the night. I mean, and if I had wanted to, I could have got in over here, made like more of a proper little stealth camp for 7 or 8 hours. But I just thought it'd be really cool just to put a chair out here, a little stool from home, thermos of coffee, and just hang out on the beach, The good thing about Florida, man, all the beaches are public. It's lightning over here over the water. Maybe you can see it again if it happens. But all the beaches are sugar sand beaches. All of them are public. Like up in Connecticut, a lot of if you own a house, you own it all the way to the water. But in Florida, it don't work that way. You own beachfront property, but you don't own the beach itself. I'm not going to say there's no area in Florida where it's a private beach, but I would say 90+% of all the beaches in the state of Florida are public beaches, and they're beautiful. And in the summertime, you'll come down here. You can do it now, I'm pretty sure, but in the summertime, it's high tide. But in the summertime, you can bring your 4-wheel drive down here. E-bike zooming all around. It's cool, man. I think it's $20 for an all-day pass. You bring an e-bike down here, there's all kind of little gaps along the way. You can just bring it right on the beach without paying anything and ride. It's cool, man. If you're going to come to Daytona Beach, don't walk around with a bottle, man. Put you some gin and juice in a Coca-Cola can. Nobody's really going to mess with you unless you're out there doing something to draw attention to yourself. It's not the type of city where you want to walk down the street and the cops see you with a bottle and you're smoking a big blunt. Yeah, they're probably going to, respond to some kind of way. Depending on your response, is it going to go bad or good? I mean, I've never had any problems with I've been down here now for about 4+ years. I've never had any problems with the Volusia County Sheriff's Department, Daytona Police Department. Then again, I'm not up to nothing and I'm legit. So, you know, I can't really say anything particularly bad from a personal standpoint, but it's a cool city, man. Okay, and I think everybody should at least come down here maybe for a week for vacation. It's really cool. So since I got you with me, I figured I'd take you on a little walking tour of Daytona Beach. And today is Tuesday, March 17, 2026, middle of winter, and a rainstorm just blew through. Rain for 3 or 4 hours. It's pretty much past, according to the weatherman. I hope his prediction works out to be accurate, because it sure is going to help tonight with our stealth camp. But we'll just have to see how it plays and keep our fingers crossed. What you're looking at here is the tourist part of Daytona Beach. Daytona Beach is actually a pretty big city, and you kind of got two parts of it. You got Daytona Beach is what you're looking at now, which is the tourist part of Daytona Beach. And it's really a big sandbar. I don't know, 30 miles long, and there's a lot of beaches on that sandbar. It just so happens some of that sandbar is in Volusia County, which is where Daytona Beach is located. And what you're looking at here is, the tourist area, and right across the street is like the city bus terminal where all the mass transit buses go and load and reload. I've never ridden a bus in Daytona Beach the whole approximately 4.5, 5 years I've been living down here. So I don't know anything about the bus system, but I know that is the main city bus terminal for whatever that is. Now, because it's the off season and a rainstorm just blew through, you could say to yourself, well, it looks pretty dead. And today, yeah, it is kind of dead, but it wouldn't be unusual at all on any kind of summer day to stand where we're standing right now and thousands of people be walking around. A lot of locals come to Daytona Beach just to hang out on the beach for a day, bring their chairs, their umbrella. You can put a little sun tent up, and enjoy yourself. So a lot of locals do that also. What you're looking at here is Atlantic Avenue, which is also like the main drag of Daytona Beach. And it's referred to as a strip, or, locals refer to it as a salt, because when you go on the backside of the tourist area part of Daytona Beach, you got something called the Halifax River, and you cross that, and now you're into the city of Daytona Beach, where the locals live. And it's a pretty good sized little city with everything going on there that goes on in any other pretty good sized little city where it's hot or pretty warm. Even today, I mean, yeah, it's a little nippy for Florida standards, but it's probably about 68, 70 degrees. And, when you're used to days that are 95 degrees and 100% humidity, 65 or 68 or 69 degrees with 50% humidity feels a little bit on the nippy side. But as you can see, it's the middle of winter everywhere else in the country, and people are walking around with short sleeve shirts on, shorts on. So it's far from being anything that could even be resembled cold. But, now as the sun goes down, it will get a little bit more nippy this time of year. You definitely need a hoodie, a little beanie, maybe some long johns if you're going to be out here on the beach. But it's definitely far from cold. What you're looking at here is Main Street. Now, Main Street is where all the bikers go, put their bikes and park them, all the show bikes, and just all kind of cool activities down there. And last week, this time, there have been tens of thousands of motorcycles riding up and down the strip. over in Main Street. You got a Ferris wheel there, and you got like a bungee jumping type of thing where they can strap you into this bungee thing and you can jump, and then go back up like a slingshot. So that's pretty cool. It's a cool activity. And on the back side of that bus terminal, you got a water slide that's in full operation in the summertime. Where I'm going to take you now is I'm going to take you to the boardwalk, which is super cool also. And I like to show my viewing audience where we're at, so you can see the conditions that we're going to hang out in and do a little stealth camping. If you just see somebody stealth camping without understanding where they're stealth camping, well, then if it's in the middle of a backwoods country area, it's not really stealth camping. You're just camping. The whole thing with stealth camping is you're camping out somewhere that you're not supposed to be camping. So you have to do it in a very stealthy way so you're not discovered. People call things stealth camping all the time, and it's debatable, I guess. But I mean, is it really stealth camping? All these little shops would be lit up at nighttime. You'd be able to see the lights from 5 miles away, especially in the summertime when all the tourists are out and about. But as you'll see, you still got people on the beach now and people hanging out. It's just a little nippy. A rainstorm came through, and you know how that goes. People, tend to flee from the stand. I was thinking about camping out under the pier, but I ultimately decided against it. I ended up making my camp somewhere else, and we'll get into all that later. But right now, I just thought it'd be really cool because a lot of people don't live in coastal states. A lot of people's never been to the ocean. I love the ocean, but, maybe you've never been or you want to come. Well, this is a good chance to see things from just a regular guy's point of view. The last hurricane we had, it did a lot of damage to the beach, but you could see it's pretty much repaired itself. Floridians ain't going to let a beach like Daytona Beach go unprepared. It's high tide. So on low tide, you get about another 100 feet of beach. You can take a four-wheel drive down there. You can ride your bicycle on the beach. You get for $20, you can take your vehicle on the beach and ride around in Daytona Beach. They used to let you fire fireworks off and build a fire on the beach. It was super cool. It's still super cool, but there was a time when it was a little bit, in my opinion, maybe more cool, but that's just one man's opinion. Now you can see, man, there's a really cool boardwalk, and in the summertime or any nice day, it'd be packed. It'd be full of people, if you're into that, Yeah, I've ridden my e-bike up and down that beach many times. I've taken my four-wheel drive out there on the beach. Super cool. Now, if you just got an e-bike, you don't have to pay because, I'm not saying you ain't supposed to, but you don't have to pay because there's 1,000 gaps that you can walk through. And if you could walk through something, you can just take an e-bike through. You don't have to pay to go on the beach, nothing like that. But if you want to take a vehicle, you have to pay $20 for a day pass. The beach is open 24 hours a day. So it's just super cool, you know what I mean? And as you can see, there's no cops around hassling people. But if you come in an event, you're going to see a lot of cops, But other than that, it's going to be pretty much like any other city. And that's the world-famous band shell. I've seen a couple of shows there. And what you're looking at now is, and you'll be able to see it a little bit more clearly here in a moment, is a memorial to all the race car drivers, okay? Daytona Beach and Volusia County as a whole is a huge NASCAR motorcycle racing community. You got the Daytona 500. You have a huge NASCAR speedway out in Daytona Beach, the city proper. After you cross over the Halifax River, and there's a huge speedway out there, and all this is memorials to all the great race car drivers and motorcycle riders. Motorcycle racing is a big thing. And usually this will be packed with people also. It just so happens because of the time of year and the rain, we pretty much got the beach to ourselves, which is kind of a cool thing, you know. It works out. So this is really a beautiful memorial they've built to all the race car drivers, and it's right at the end of the boardwalk where you come back and you go through this like little amusement area and you go back onto Atlantic Avenue. I just thought it'd be cool to show you guys this, you know, let you see what was really up. And yeah, racing, they take racing real serious down here. Yeah, so if you're into racing, Daytona Beach is a cool place to be also. And out by my house, because I live way out in the country part of Volusia, they got like a it's still a distance from my house, but out that way they got a huge dirt track where you know you get the old the racers dirt track modified cars out there slinging it every weekend, man. So I just thought it'd be a pretty cool little tidbit of info for race enthusiasts. And I've been to a couple of shows in this band shell. It's pretty cool, man. You know, Daytona Beach is actually a really cool place to, just come and hang out. It's family friendly. I don't know if, a lot of people are like, well, if something's family friendly, it can't be cool. I don't know if I agree with that at all. I think that you could have a really cool beach town with a lot of dive bars, which Daytona Beach has a lot of biker bars, dive bars. They're all cool. Nobody's going to mess with you if you go in there. And then you have a lot of really nice hotels. And so it's not uncommon to see, bikers and, country boys, a few punk rockers walking around mingling with the families. And there's no hassle. There's no problems, It's all good. What we're walking through here is like a little pavilion. It's got a top part you can go up on and hang out, and then it's got this little pavilion down here with all kind of shops and all kind of little things, cotton candy and all that type of stuff in the summertime. So it's really cool, man. And obviously palm trees everywhere. So if you're into surfing, right, you'd want to go about 15 miles north, right on Atlantic Avenue. The first city you come across is Orchard Beach, which is actually the same county as Volusia County. It might as well be Daytona Beach, but it's not. It's Orchard Beach, a separate little city. Orchard Beach is more working class, so more of a working class neighborhood, more of a working class town. The little bungalows. A lot of the houses in Florida are small because it makes them more hurricane proof, and it's easier to cool them in the wintertime. It's easier to cool them in the summertime and heat them in the wintertime. We get a little winter down here. We get about 2 months of winter where, it might drop occasionally, say to 45 degrees, start raining, wind be blowing, but that's only every blue moon, now and then. And winter only lasts for about 2 months. Well, we got our gear and we're fixing to head out, go do some beach camping. Yeah. The perfect place for surfing is Flagler Beach, about 15 miles north of Daytona Beach on A1A, right on Atlantic Avenue. Great waves. Been surfing there a few times. Flagler Beach is much more kicked back, almost like a hippie vibe. And Atlantic Avenue goes down to a little 2-lane roads, and the beach is about 500 feet away. So there's a lot of beach, sand dunes, great waves, real cool, real mellow, surf shops, and just a really cool vibe, man. I highly recommend, if you've never been there, you ever make it to Florida, stop in there, man. You'd probably really enjoy yourself. For all the men and women that are locked down in cold, dark, lonely places, you're down, but you're not forgotten, because Big Mick Dog says so. This helps put everything in context. No matter what kind of issues that you're dealing with in your life, you come out here, man, and you look at the mighty Atlantic Ocean, you know, it kind of helps you just put things in proper perspective. Be grateful for right now. Do the best you can do right now. And then at that point, there's no point in worrying about things going on over way on the other side of that ocean that you have no control over and nobody asked you were you cool with before they went and did whatever they did. I'm just trying to be a free American that it can enjoy freedom, and that's what I'm about. That's what this channel's about. And I just wanted to bring you guys out here to the mighty Atlantic Ocean. If you've never seen the ocean before, maybe you live in like a, Midwestern state or something. This is what we do down here, man. Either this or off on the edge of the swamp, full wheel driving, or I do a lot of different type of camping. And this is, for lack of a better word, a little quasi stealth camp. I mean, it's a public beach. It's open 24 hours a day. So, I mean, is it an official stealth camp? I don't know, but I know one thing. It's pretty damn cool. And I just wanted to bring you guys out here and let you be a part of it too. For sure, man. You know, in all truth, there's not really too much on the face of the earth that I truly, truly have an over sense of awe. You could even say it's fear mixed with respect and awe. And the mighty oceans of the world, when you sit and you just look at the waves break and you look out over the horizon, it's literally, to me anyway, it's like awe-inspiring. It's a very humbling experience. All this water and sand, it's like ancient. And it's so powerful that nothing or nobody could ever even hope to tame it. Yeah, you can build dams on, rivers and things like that, and you can sail to high seas. And you can make a living off of her. You can fish her. You can do all that. And it's all good. But you never, ever forget for 1 second that she's a big, bad, beautiful bitch. And you better give her respect. Because otherwise, it could go 100% bad for you in a hot second. All the hurricanes that form out there, to just come through land and tear everything up in its path, you know. And it's beautiful, and it's free, and it's powerful. You know, that's the reason why, like, every 2 or 3 months, when I really start feeling myself and everything is going good and I get kind of cocky, I come out here and I force myself to sit here all night until the sun starts peeking up over that horizon and be mystified, terrified, and humbled, but also empowered. You know, it's really a very powerful experience, especially if you live in a city, or a state, or a city for that matter, you know, and you can't do this, you know. I'm doing it for you, man. That's what this channel's all about, giving back. Sharing my experiences on a humble, cool level, not on a cocky, tough guy level. I want to be past that in my life. I suffer from some of the most brutal PTSD that you could ever suffer from when I came home from federal prison. That was 10 years of hardcore time, man. Not to mention the 14 years I did in New York State before I got to that. So being able to have made it through that and to be able to sit here on this beach as a free man, free and clear, with a home, a four-wheel drive, a motorcycle, a lovely and beautiful wife, and opportunities for more freedom. Yeah, man, that's what I'm about, man. That's what I want to share with you. And we're going to do this together, man. All my subscribers mean the world to me, man. And I ain't going to let you down. By the way, I'm jamming the Angel of Death by Slayer on my earbuds. Smoke the big fat doobie sitting here tripping on the Atlantic Ocean, man. Hell yeah, man. That's what's up. Yeah, man, I'm into surfing, stealth camping, four-wheel driving, traveling, sharing all kind of adventures with my viewing audience, man. I tell you what, if you subscribe to this channel, probably be one of the most coolest things you could do for me and the channel, but you're going to also get a lot of really cool content. I won't let you guys down. Good headlamp, right? Cool ass beach vibes. Picking up when I'm laying down. Yeah. Now, if this ain't badass, man, I don't know what is, man. The ocean at night, pretty awe-inspiring. Yeah, for sure. sunrise over the mighty Atlantic Ocean. I just wanted you guys to be able to see this with me. I ended up nodding off for a couple hours, and when I came to, this was what I was greeted with. Is that pretty cool or what? Well, it's a little after 7 in the morning, and I'm fixing to wrap this sideshow up and put it on the road. But I tell you what, if you haven't already, you should like and subscribe, because with this channel's just getting started. Yeah. Daytona Beach, baby. Sunrise. About as real as it gets. Did you know that Volusia County, Florida, the county that the city of Daytona Beach is located in, is actually bigger than the entire state of Rhode Island? Just Volusia County alone. Yeah, do your own research. Check it out. I just thought it'd be a cool part of, cool little tidbit of info.